Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1.
Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into another edition of From the Rough, America's favorite golf podcast. Live from the FanStream Sports in a rainy Dallas, Texas studio. I am IndyCarTim, your host. I'm joined by the star of the show, PGA of America member, Mr. John Gerber. Hello, Johnny. Are you dry?
Not barely dry. But it was bad. AWC out there, adverse weather conditions for sure.
Man, it's rough.
It was brutal, man. It was brutal. But anytime you can get some of that good rain here in Texas in the summertime, we'll take it. After yesterday's 125-degree heat index, I got burned up playing golf. I don't know. I know you're asking the question, why did I play golf?
No, I understood why you played golf. I just don't understand how you played golf in that stuff because it was humid too.
Oh, it was brutal. It's the hottest I've ever been on a golf course, and it wasn't my best decision to go play golf, but I had a great buddy in town and wanted to take him out. And special thanks to Chris Kohler, our buddy that comes in and guest hosts every once in a while for hosting us out there at Glen Eagles. Golf course in great shape, and
but it's not right now.
Well, it's Bermuda. They want the heat, but
I'm talking about the rain.
Oh yeah, they need that too. But no, it was really good, man. It was hot, dude.
What'd you shoot? 89?
No, stop.
94. I mean, that was your front and back nine, right? 89, 94.
I don't shoot over 80, dude.
Well, not on the front nine.
No, that's you.
Oh,
that's you.
Probably true.
No, I don't know. I had 4 birdies, which was good. I had a Michael Dublé.
Did you just one Dublé?
Just one Dublé.
Par 4?
I made double on. What would I make double? I don't know. I don't remember like the last 3 or 4 holes because I was so hot.
Yeah, and drunk.
No, I don't drink on the golf.
I know you say you don't.
I don't. And you know, I drank 9 bottles of water. 9, and I didn't go to the bathroom once.
God, that's how drunk you were.
No, stop. No.
Oh wait, not the word. Drunk's not the word. What was the word?
Cocktails are good. No, you know when I'm drinking, I go to the bathroom all the time, right? So I know, like, and it was brutal. No, I hadn't been. Luckily, I was wearing shorts, so that helped a little bit. But man, it was a great day. Regardless, I was burned up, boy, after I got done, and it was great to see my old buddy from Fort Lauderdale, man. Him and his son played, and Kohler played, and then
nice.
Our other buddy Brian Corba played. So it was awesome, man. I would do it again. I would do it again if JR came back in town. I would do it again in the heat. But other than that, I'd probably pass.
It's just too hot right now.
It's hot.
I don't know how y'all do that.
And think about like last summer, like when I was playing in some of the section stuff, and it was like that hot, and we had to wear pants.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I can't play in this. I mean, I told you all the time. You always ask how I played. I said, well, I played about 5 holes. I had to withdraw.
Yeah.
So.
Well, maybe you should go join that Live Golf. Play on their mini tour.
If they offered me, I would.
How much do you think they'd offer you to come play?
About $7.
And you'd go, huh?
Absolutely.
You and DJ?
$7 more than I got right now.
Right. That's a truth.
Right.
$7 DDARs.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's a big week as we are post-U.S. Open. We hope everybody enjoyed our synopsis recap of the U.S. Open back on Monday. It was a fun show to do. But on the heels of that U.S. Open, the PGA Tour now heads to New England for the final designated event of the year, Johnny. And they're doing the designated events a little bit different next year.
Yeah, and I don't know. Have they announced how they're going to do it? Just because of maybe the obviously with the potential merger. So I don't know how they're going to do it because they're not going to move the FedEx schedule. And the elevated events, right, are not going to be the same events because they're moving that around. So I don't think they've come out with the schedule what elevated events will be, but I got a pretty good feeling. On a couple of them. Like I said, they haven't come out yet. Right. I have a pretty good feeling on a couple.
But we're pretty sure the Byron Nelson and the Colonial aren't going to be 2 of them.
Well, Colonial.
You think it will be?
Colonial may. Valspar maybe.
That would be a good choice, I would think. The Valspar. It's a good following out there.
Valspar maybe. So I think the theory is they want to try to get more people. I mean, if they're smart, they need to do Honda to get more participation by fans.
Right.
So Honda might be, but it'd be tough. It'd be tough to have them both because they're kind of in the same period. They don't really like putting them all that close.
Yeah.
But I just wish if they do this merge with Live, I think the elevated field events go away, and I just think all the purses total are going to be big.
Just go up.
Yeah, and then I always like the cool part of 8-10 years ago when they would have the swings. I like that. They're moving some stuff around. Like you could go, you have the California swing at the beginning of the year, and then you go to Florida, and then you go to Texas. I mean, you could have Byron Nelson, you could have the Colonial, you could have Houston, because the match play's gone.
Right.
And then San Antonio.
Yep.
So you could have
great would that be?
Oh man, that would be. And then the same thing in Florida. Like you could have, the Players Championship. You could have Bay Hill. You could have Valspar, and you could have Honda.
Yeah.
Like, and that gives you that's a whole one. I always love that part when they did those. Hey, the king of the Florida swing or the king of the California swing, stuff like that. I always thought that was great, and I hope they kind of get back to that a little bit. But we got to chime in Memorial for sure. But Memorial was elevated field event this year, so they're not going to probably have an elevated field event for Memorial.
It says Waste Management too.
That was elevated field last year. This year also. So they'll move that stuff around. But those purses like Memorial and Waste Management, those are always higher end purses anyways, even without the elevated field events, right? So they'll probably keep on the schedule when it comes to that. But man, I just love those swings, man. And you know what you could do would be fun. And you talk about, and I was thinking about this the other night when I was drinking water at the bar. That
well, there was water in the ice.
Why was that so funny?
They don't even have water in the bars you go to.
I know, but wouldn't it be cool, like if, and this is how you could get more participation for these events, is you have a bonus for the California Florida swing and the Texas swing, whoever has the most accumulative group, like money. So let's just say Rory finishes in Florida, he finishes 1st, 3rd, 10th, and 8th, all that money total. So he's the king of the Florida swing, and you get a bonus, right? I remember when I was playing the mini tours that we had that out in Iowa. Like there was 3 tournaments in a row. There was Waterloo, Iowa Open, and Cedar Rapids. Mm-hmm. And if you won 2 of those 3 tournaments, you got like a $30,000 bonus.
Wow.
And
a lot of money for those mini tours.
Yeah, it was great. Zach Johnson won it one year. I think he won all 3 actually that one year. And I just think that'd be a good way to kind of get these people kind of playing in a little bit more in playing some of those events as opposed to elevated field.
As we mentioned, it is the final designated event of the season as the boys head to TPC River Highlands up in Cromwell, Connecticut. It's a short course, Johnny, 6,852 yards, but it is a par 70 with an elevated field purse of $20 million. Man, I love those elevated field events.
And this is one of those things that, for you that you love because, as we talked off air, is like you mentioned that, is it, it's a short golf course but they don't go super low. I mean, I think Xander was the lowest they had last year. And he shot 19, but they don't go super low. They grow the rough, and it just goes to show that, you don't have to have a super long golf course, hence heritage, right? To make it really difficult and keep it around double digits to win. And you just grow the rough up and narrow up the fairways and make ball striking a premium as it just kind of bomb and gallop. Yeah,
it's a short course, but in no way is it an easy course.
No,
and that's what I like, man. I like these 6,800, 7,000 yard courses up in the Northeast. And they can't do anything to lengthen them because they don't have any room up there, unless you're out in the country. But
and the thing is, it plays a little shorter too because there's a lot of elevation changes there, and you're above sea level there a bit. So there's the tour guys love this tournament. Mm-hmm. They do. I mean, they love this tournament, and you always see, even though it's an elevated field event, you will always see a strong field. Mm-hmm. For this event. It's just they love the golf course. They love the how they're treated up there. And this has always just been one of those events, just been super well respected, and the players love to go up there. And the weather is usually pretty damn good this time of year. Not 125.
Oh my God. I still don't know how you do that. So yeah, the weather's great right now. so much so that 8 of the top 10 players in the world are going to be there after really, man, an emotional U.S. Open. Again, I can't talk about that enough. Just is one of my favorite U.S. Opens.
Yeah.
Just again, I know we touched on it a little bit Monday, but out of the 3 guys in contention on Sunday, you and I were drinking water at the bar, and I said, out of Rory and Ricky, who would you want to win? And we were both like, well, really either one. And it's silly that we never even threw Wyndham Clark into the ring to win, you know.
And most people didn't, right?
No.
I mean, he was just kind of an afterthought. And you know what? That was probably beneficial to Wyndham Clark, because even though he was in the lead, he was still under the radar. Yeah. Like, no one thought he was going to win, and you know, they took a lot of the pressure off him. I really think that him not playing, who do you play? So him not playing with, who do you play with last round? Yeah, it's tough, right?
Man, I can't remember.
Well,
I had a lot of water that day at the bar.
I think him not playing with Ricky or Rory helped him tremendously. And when it came to that, so
yeah, because he was in the grouping right behind them, right?
Yeah, he was in
front of them.
Yeah, he was in the last group.
I
so,
can't remember. Yeah.
Did Ricky play in the last? Did Ricky play? Did they play in the last round together? Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
But I think Rory. It's just, you know, I don't know. That's just what I think. He was just under the radar, man, all week, and I think it really helped him going into the last round. But
as we mentioned, 8 of the top 10 players in the world are going to be there, including numbers 1, 2, and 3. As you've got the world number 1, Scotty Scheffler, as he continues on his just tear this year. He's finished no worse than T12 all year long. He's inching closer and closer to the winner's circle, I think, for the 3rd time this year. He arrives here with 4 straight top 5 finishes, including podium results at the PGA Championship and the U.S. Open. Like, he's on the cusp, kind of like he was before he broke out, right? Winning, he was right there, and then he finally broke through with his first win, and I think he's kind of back at that type of setting with his game, to where he's going to get one, and then he's going to get another one, and he's going to get another one.
Simply remarkable that he hasn't finished out of the top 12 as poorly as he's putted. Poorly as he's putted for him, and where his rankings are. But again, that's a little bit fool's gold too, because he's hitting it so well and has so many opportunities. It looks like he's putting poorly, but he's really not putting poorly. I mean, if it's like, you know, you hit all 18 greens and you don't hit it outside of 20 feet, but you make 5, right? Well, people think, oh man, you're putting terrible, but you're not really putting terrible.
Yeah.
He just has so many chances. I think that's just smoke and mirrors. It looks like he's putting poorly.
Yeah, and I mean, to me, his entire game hasn't really been on par, you know, for most of the season. He's either putting well and driving poorly, or driving well and putting poorly, or not hitting fairways or whatever. But he hasn't really put everything together in a complete 4-round week. But yet, as we're talking about, he hasn't finished worse than T12 all year. So
isn't it? I was going to say something. Well, when he does put it together, that's when he wins.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I haven't seen anyone ball striking wise in a long time. Maybe Tiger in his 2001 days, man. He's just really been so dominant, and I just really never seen it. The guy. Have you ever seen a guy hole out like more times?
No.
Like it seems like every damn tournament he's holed out. Like he's holding out from the fairway, or you know, he's chipping in once or twice around. I mean, that's just what he is. And the thing is putting it also. I mean, he chips the ball so well. I mean, he chips it fantastic too, man. So,
John Rahm, the world number 2, still holds the title of most victories this season with 4, but he's been shut out in the trophy department since Augusta. And just like Scheffler, Rahm just keeps persisting despite some what we consider to be troubles on and around the green, I think, this year for him. Rory at number 3 in the world, got 1 win this season, but how many close calls does he have to go along with that this year? It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, it's his 4th round scoring. It's just really what's killing him. I mean, he's put himself in contention a ton. And then, like we said at Memorial, you know, last week he shot even par at the U.S. Open on the last round. But his last 3 tournaments going to the last round, he's collectively 3 over par. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you can't be that way in the last round. And Rory's, you know, it's weird because Rory's one of those guys that usually goes and takes it, right? He has the firepower to be able to do something like that. And just his last round, he hasn't been able to do it. He's, isn't it weird that how many low rounds Rory shoots when he's not in contention?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you noticed that? Like,
Yeah.
it's, I mean,
When there's no pressure.
like the third round. So he'll barely make the cut, and then he's just freewheeling it. And in the third round, he'll shoot 64. And then it looks like he's in contention, and then he'll come up and shoot 7 even par last.
Yeah.
Shooting even par in the last round on a PGA Tour event's like shooting 80.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. I mean, those guys that are winning, man, they're not shooting even par to win the golf tournament if they're really up there in contention. They're getting lapped.
Rory, it was his out in LA, it was his 18th top 10 finish since his last major win in 2014. So, I mean, he's right there.
Yeah.
And I really thought he was going to get over that hurdle with no major wins in 9 years last week. It just wasn't to be.
I think he wins at Hoylake.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I think he wins. I think he wins a British Open at Hoylake. That's where he won a British Open before. Strategic wise, he kind of, I don't know if you heard him like during the US Open last week, was like, when I'm playing, it was amazing when I won at Hoylake how many irons and stuff I hit off the tee.
Right.
Like, so I think he has a really good grasp of how to play Hoylake. So, looking, and the problem is going to be like, he's going to be such a prohibitive favorite. You can't really make any money on him. So,
right.
That'll be the tough. I mean, it's a couple weeks before the British Open, which is another cool event. We get to battle the hangovers and watch golf.
Oh my gosh. We'll be watching all the golf.
7 a.m.
Hell, I may just stay up like I did last night.
I know.
I'll stay up to watch it.
Next show, please.
Good Lord. Patrick Cantlay and defending champion Xander Schauffele also look to break through for their first victories of the season. You've also got Matt Fitzpatrick, Tony Finau, Max Homa, my boy Max Homa. I haven't texted him yet this week. I need to do that tonight. Victor Hovland and, of course, Wyndham Clark all hope to add to their win totals this season.
Yeah, it's such a good Patrick Schauffele, they're the same person, dude.
They kind of are, aren't they?
They're the same. It's Patrick Schauffele. So when we go group those two guys together, or Xander Cantlay, however you want to do it, man, I'm fine with either way. But they're the same person, man. They're boring. It's just like, dude, I'm glad this is a show we can curse, but I'm not going to right now. I'm not going to. They're just cowards, man. It's Xander won last year, but
who's the bigger coward here, Patrick, Xander, or Colin Mora coward?
It's probably Patrick Colin Schauffele.
It's all three of them.
Yeah, that's the middle name is Colin, right? Patrick Colin Schauffele. That's what I'm gonna call him. Right?
All right, well, fair enough. We'll see how they break through here. I'm sure one of those guys, if not all of those guys, at some point will factor into your matchups.
Yeah, I hope to bet against them.
Yeah, exactly. They'll lose their matchups. Yeah. So coming up next, we've got our odds via Caesar Sportsbook. Of course, the big three are going to be way up there, and you're not going to be able to make a ton of money on them. But Johnny's going to give you his picks towards the end of the show for the ones you can make some money on, and I'll give you the ones that you can laugh at for the picks, because that's what everybody does is my picks. I gotta stop picking John Daly to win every tournament.
He usually can't make any money on him.
No. I keep losing that bet. Yeah. I'm not real sure why. I don't know what his deal is.
I don't know. I don't know where you get those odds. It's pretty good. I promise you, it's not Bet Parks. I promise you that.
No, we're not getting them from Bet Parks. They're smarter than that over there. Yeah. We are from the rough right here on FanStream Sports. We'll be back after this.
Hello, sports fans. FanStream Sports.
Hey, you like golf? There's a good chance you do, because I said so. But what do you need playing golf? Well, you need clubs. Right? Clubs, you need balls. The thing that people don't usually think about is that golf bag. And that's what most people see when they look at your golf clubs, like right off the bat. And if you've got a raggedy bag, it's not doing you any favors, bud. So get you a new bag. Go over to orca-golf.com. Orca-golf.com. Why are you going there? You're going there because you want a golf bag, but you want one that's kind of screams you. So you want to pick the colors. Well, you can use your own custom colors. Maybe you have a logo in mind. Maybe it's your logo. You're like Prince. You just have a symbol. That's the case. Dude, you can get your logo on there. Your name, just get it done exactly like what you want it done. By actual designers. Nothing goes out of their factory without the approval of the founder, Erica Bennett, who is just brilliant. We've seen some of her bags. We've got one of them actually in the studio. You know what? Dude, It looks good. If you want other people to look at your golf setup and go, man, that just screams Frank. You want that? Then go over to orca-golf.com. Do yourself a favor and use the promo code DSP10 for 10% off and free shipping. I'll say that again, DSP10 for 10% off and free shipping. So do it today because Orca Golf is the best choice in the game.
Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
All right, guys, time to talk a little bit about turf life. You've seen the hats on our heads. You've been or seen the video of the studio. You've seen that the decals are all over the place. Turf Life. Man, it's the brand that salutes the consumer and industry players everywhere whose lives involve turf. What does that mean? That means if you play or have a business or, maybe you're a sports educator, you're going to be on turf at some point. So you live the turf life. So go ahead and tell everybody you live the turf life by having your Turf Life window decal or, the hat or the keychain or the something. Along that lines, just go to turflifeclub.com and become a turf head. That's what it's called when you live the turf life. You're now a turf head. And you can go join the club today, snag that window decal, or snag any other special Turf Life accessories, and go over there to that website, which is turflifeclub.com, and get your stuff and show everybody that, man, I'm all about that turf life. And then you just kind of raise your coffee mug at them and go, yeah, turf life, baby. That's what it's about. And then that's the end of the commercial. Ding. That means it's done in microwave talk.
Hey, listeners, make sure you check out the brand new FanStream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7, day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show.
Coming back at you. Now, more FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to From the Rough, America's favorite golf podcast, right here on FanStream Sports, wherever you get your podcasts, and live each Monday and Wednesday, 5 o'clock Central Time at fanstreamsports.com, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and the brand new FanStream Sports app that you can download right now for Android at the Google Play Store. The iOS version will be available in the Apple Store as soon as I possibly can.
Yeah.
So be looking for that in your Apple Store. But if you've got an Android device, go ahead and go over there to your Google Play Store, download the new FanStream Sports app. You can have access to all of our shows 24/7. We've got the live stream going for the current shows that have been broadcast. And then when we've got live shows on there, it'll be live for you as well. Just like a radio station. So you get all of our great, fine programming over there, from JP Peterson out in Tampa Bay to Jeff Thidoff up in Columbus to Colby Sapp and IndyCarTim, and From the Rough here.
Who's that?
A couple of yahoos.
Yeah.
I think they know how to do radio.
Mm-hmm.
Idiots. And as well as the Bottom Line Sports Talk boys on Tuesdays here live from the FanStream Sports Studios. Getting back to
They like Nickelback.
one of them does. That's for damn sure. I think we have audio of that, of him, like this confession.
Well, I like Nickelback.
Yeah, that's what it was. I knew
Funny.
it.
They're funny.
Yeah, they are pretty funny.
Yeah.
Y'all should give them a shout out. Give them a listen.
They're twins. They're twins, and they're like the most polar opposite.
They're fraternal twins.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, but their personalities and takes on sports are great, but they're polar opposites.
And they look, their personalities are different. They're awesome, man.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a new show, especially on the app, and we'll have the run times and stuff that they're on, and you can always watch them obviously on FanStream Sports. But man, when they get in studio, man, they they have a lot of fun in here. I think we got to replenish some booze in there for them. Didn't they drink up all the? I know the Patrons.
I have never seen a man or woman or human being drink almost half a bottle of gin from the bottle.
Carrie did
in an hour. Yeah, Carrie just, hey, we have anything to drink in the studio? I'm like, well, there's a bottle of gin in there that nobody's touched for almost a year.
Yeah.
So you're welcome. And he'd already polished off the Patron.
Funny.
He's like, well, I just need something, man, for this. I'm like, all right. So he just, dude, no cup, no ice, no nothing. He just brought the ball in there to the studio with him right where you're sitting and just went to town. And by the end of the show, it was gone.
Beautiful. It's here to drink. I mean, hell, I don't want it to sit there.
But it's gin.
I know. I don't.
No males should drink gin. That's kind of a chick drink.
It smells like junipers.
It's really bad. And then he got all the confidence. He started singing.
Everybody hurts.
Oh, Carrie.
Oh,
Yeah, check out those Bottom Line Sports Talk boys over at fanstreamsports.com or wherever you get your podcasts. So getting back to the 2023 Travelers Championship, way up there in Connecticut. It's weirdly spelled.
I don't even know if I can spell Connecticut.
Well, it's spelled just like I say it, Connecticut.
Yeah.
It's weird people spell things in English.
Cromwell.
James Cromwell, Connecticut. TPC River Highlands. Again, it's a really short course, but it's not an easy course. It's a par 70, 6,852 yards. $20 million purse available this week. Looking at the odds from Caesar Sportsbook, of course, the number one in the world is going to be your odds leader here at 13-2, Scotty Scheffler. No surprise there. We kind of touched on him briefly before the break about kind of where his game's been and what he's dealing with. Johnny's favorite golfer at 10-1, Patrick Cantlay. Patrick Colin Shoffley.
Turd Cantlay.
Wow, at 10-1, not a lot of value there either way, and I can tell you right now, he ain't gonna win it.
Let me tell you something about Cantlay here.
Here we go.
So he's had well, first off, he hasn't played well since he let his caddy go, right? Matt Minister, who was a Ohio State boy.
Well, he can't be that great then.
Well, fact, but he hasn't played well since. And you know how he let his caddy know?
You text him?
No. Well, yeah, but worse.
Uh-oh.
The day before the tournament, he said, "You're out like New Edition."
That's not very...
How about that? That's karma.
That's not very upstanding.
It's karma. This is what you get.
What was the reason?
It hadn't.
Just tired of him? Tired of his antics?
Yeah, but, I mean... It's not Matt Minister's fault. It's Cantlay.
Right.
I mean, you think you can do better. It's like you've had this a million times. I know. It's just like the girl that you break up with that you think you can do better.
I can always do better.
And then if you find out that you can't do better, and then you try to go back to her, and she's done better than you.
Never done that before.
It happens to you all the time.
I always upgrade.
Says who?
Every time.
Well,
I upgrade every time.
Well, they don't. Let's just say that. They don't upgrade. You might think you do, but they don't.
That's all they do is upgrade. Any girl that's with me, I'm a complete upgrade from the idiot they were with before.
Yeah. Who's next?
Uh-huh.
Guess that's it.
11-1, Rory McIlroy, who, I mean, he drove the crap out of the ball in Los Angeles, right? Plus 2.25 strokes gained off the tee per round. His tee to green game was good. But, man, like you mentioned early in the show, he could not make a putt to save his life out in L.A.
Yeah, and these greens are these has some undulations, kind of like the L.A. also. But this golf course playing so short, it's going to take the driver out of Rory's hand. So unless he just wants to really try to overpower the place, which he may, but the rough is going to be it's a different type. So you're going from California, which was a strange setup anyways. California is not normally have Bermuda. Like, especially in that part. So you had that weird setup of you had bent grass greens and then you have Bermuda fairways and rough. Now you're going up to just straight old school bluegrass and bent. So, those guys are changing wedges. These guys are changing equipment a little bit to go from different types of grass. So, man, I don't really see Rory playing well. I mean, I just don't. I mean, this is going to play more like I know he had some success in Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to play very similar to that. The type of golf course it's hilly, it's a little shorter, a little bit more strategic. So it's going to play more like the Canada than it did in LA. So maybe some of these guys we'll talk about a little bit on our card that played well in Canada that might be on our card for this week.
Rory's history at TPC River Highlands. This is his 5th time playing. In 4 prior trips, he's cashed in on top 20 finishes, but he has never been in contention on Sunday.
Yep.
So look for much of the same, I believe, from Rory here this weekend.
He's got to be tired, right? I mean, he's obviously not probably not going to play the next couple of weeks. So this is going to be his last kind of tournament before the British Open. So I mean, if he's kind of marginal, does he just mail it in? And maybe he's got to be tired, man. I mean,
yeah, and he's been in contention on the final round the last 3 Sundays on the PGA Tours. Maybe this year will be different at River Highlands, and
this is his 4th tournament in a row.
Yeah,
right. I mean, like, and when I know these guys got their private jets, right? But it's his 4th tournament in a row that he's flying cross country. So he plays Memorial, then he goes to Canada, which is nothing, and then you go to LA, and then you come back. All right. So
a lot of travel.
Yeah, it's a lot of travel and it's a lot of golf. I mean, because he's made the cut in every tournament, so he's playing a lot of golf. And then I think just with the LIV merger and some of that stuff, I thought it'd help him a little bit. But I think the guy's tired, man. And and especially at 11-1. I mean, being a tired player that hasn't played well here before, 11-1, can't make any money, he'll probably win.
Xander Schauffele at 14-1. We skipped over John Rahm at 11-1 because I mean, what do you need to say about John Rahm at 11-1?
You didn't get that. You didn't like that last thing I had.
That was pretty good. Yeah, you need confirmation for it.
Sometimes
when there's only one pickle in the pickle jar, you just got to eat that pickle.
A lot of pickles this week.
Xander Schauffele at 14-1. He carded the lowest round in U.S. Open history and entered the weekend at 132, the 3rd lowest total in championship history. But that's about as good as it would get for him. The world number 6 is he dropped 5 shots to par across the last 36 holes to finish T10. He continues to play incredibly consistent, pisses off Johnny routinely.
Who?
Xander Schauffele.
Schauffele didn't have the record. That was Ricky Fowler.
Xander Schauffele carded the lowest round in U.S. Open history.
Oh, yeah.
And entered the weekend at 132.
Yeah, sorry.
You know what's fun about radio and pod? It's when your co-host listens to what you're saying. Welcome to the show, Johnny. He continues to play consistent. He returns to the side of the tournament that kicked off a sizzling summer just a season ago. So 14-1, still not really good value with Xander Schauffele. He ain't gonna win.
Oh, I mean, first off, it's hard to back, to repeat, right? First off, I think you got some obligations and media obligations, going to that. And that's a big deal. People don't see that, inside the ropes and stuff. Some of these guys got to deal with, especially as a defending champion. And I just think that how he hit the ball the weekend, how he drove the golf ball, man, having those 2-way misses, man, is not good. And that's the worst thing for a tour player is you have 2-way. If you have a 1-way miss, you can play it right. But if you have a 2-way miss, man, and you got those legs spread, man, that's a bad thing for a tour player, man. Yep. So I don't really like him this weekend. Again, 14-1. You can't really make any money for what you have to risk.
Yeah, not really worth it. 20-1, Victor Hovland. Your other boy, Colin Morikawa, at 25-1. Also at 25-1, Tommy Fleetwood. He remains without a PGA Tour victory, but he's been so close. Man, he booted away a golden opportunity up in Canada. We failed to birdie that par 5 and later fell to Taylor in the playoff. He bounced back with a second final round 63 in his U.S. Open career to finish T5 in LA just last week. I just think Tommy Fleetwood kind of needs a break, right? Like he needs the golf gods to sort of smile upon him this week, and it could happen for him.
If he just keeps doing what he's doing, he'll get there. I mean, he might be another guy we'll look at for Hoylake, for the British Open too.
Right.
Obviously being there, and he's had some success in the British Open. I don't want to get too far ahead, and we got a couple weeks before that. But, I think he just keeps doing. He's going to be in the same spot. Like he's going to play this week, and we won't play the next couple weeks, and take some. They might play 1 week or 2 weeks. Some of those guys play that Scottish Open, which they like a lot.
As a warm up.
Yeah, it used to be a really good event. I don't know if those guys are really good. Some of the European guys are certainly going to be playing it. So it's going to be like 1 or 2 weeks off for those guys.
Tony Finau at 28-1.
He's a good 28-1's good odds. I mean,
that is good for him.
There's some good value there. I just don't like the way I just don't like how he's playing, man. I thought the U.S. Open be a good place for him because he, I thought he drove the ball. He drives the ball obviously fantastic. I thought it'd be a good place for him. I don't like those hilly greens like that, man. I don't like the way he putts on those, big undulating greens, man. That's a tough place for a guy with his putting stroke. And
I like that word, by the way.
What?
Undulating.
Yeah, undulating. And don't ask me how to spell it.
I just like the word. It's fun to say.
There's a couple things I can't spell on this show right now. Connecticut and undulating.
An undulating Connecticut course.
Yeah. So please don't, viewers, please don't ask me. And if anyone does know how to spell that, please chime in on our chat line, text line, please. You can tell me how to spell that.
Yeah, text in the show anytime, 24/7, 214-937-0569. Even if we're not on the air, we'll see it and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Especially golf questions, betting questions. Johnny loves those. We'll make sure they get forwarded over to his private text line that he has for the ladies. Tom Kim at 33-1. Russell Henley also at 33-1. I know you're going to like that one. We may hear his name later. Matthew Fitzpatrick at 40-1. He won the RBC the last time the tour traveled to a Pete Dye design the week following a major. He has found some consistency since then, as he's pretty much done with that neck injury. I think we haven't heard too much about him and his neck.
Right.
So we'd like to think that one's a thing of the past. He rides 3 straight top 20 finishes into Connecticut for what will be his only a second appearance in the Travelers Championship. 40-1, pretty good odds for him, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
It could be a fun play there.
Yeah.
And finally, with the odds, Ricky Fowler at 40-1, man. I think his return to prominence, I know he hasn't carded a win yet here since 2019, but I think he's back to being on everybody's radar. That final round 75, though, man, that disappointed a lot of people. It disappointed fans. But, man, the way he reacted to it, I think he's done. Like, it's out of sight, out of mind for him. We saw him signing autographs for 2 hours after blowing the U.S. Open, and can't have a better attitude than Ricky Fowler had after blowing that lead.
Yeah, I mean, first class. I mean, he that's why people love Ricky, is just the things that he does with the autographs and how he congratulated when, like, all these things that he does. He doesn't really hit any foul balls, right? And that's why he has such popularity. He's the opposite of a lot of those guys out there, right? So, yeah, I think, I know this might sound weird. I think it was really good for him to shoot that final round to play poorly. Here's why I say that. I think that, he knows he can do it. He can get in that contention again at a bigger stage. And I do. And it's really tough to come back. I mean, to come back after shooting a 75, play the next week and really feel like you got a lot, like you're just ready to go. It was so emotional for him playing, having the lead and so much going on going into that fourth round. And then for him to come back and play this event with all the hype that was last week, man, I don't really see it. But obviously he's in good form, man. I think he's going to learn a lot from that final round Sunday.
He has connected on 13 top 20 finishes and just 18 starts this season. I mean, that lends to his consistency there a little bit.
Yeah.
If the season ended today, it would represent his best, the best season of his career in terms of approach play. He's just about as well-rounded with his game as ever, I think. Recent title runs in the U.S. Open and the Memorial, I think, are, even though, again, we've discussed the U.S. Open finish, but it's got to give him confidence, though, the way he's been playing moving forward through the rest of the season.
Write this down. I think he's going to get a pick for the Ryder Cup.
It would be a good choice.
Yeah. And I just, the Ryder Cup is better when Ricky's on it, right? He's just such a team guy. And then I think with them going over there and not winning the Ryder Cup so long on European soil, I think he's just kind of one of those guys, man, that if there's any fans for the U.S. over there, they're going to be rooting for Ricky Fowler, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's just a little bit. I think he's got to, maybe play. I don't think he can, unless he wins a tournament or has a great finish in the FedEx Cup or whatever it is, some of these bigger tournaments. I don't think he can get in that top 10 or top 8. Or top, it might be 6. I don't know if they're doing, they switch it up a lot. It's 6 automatic, and then you have 6 captain picks, and then sometimes it goes to 8 and then 4. That's all predicated on and that's another word, predicated. I can't spell that either. So.
Predicated, that's easy. That's an easy one.
Okay.
You know that one. You're from Ohio.
Okay. We're smart up there.
High school in Ohio, right?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Okay. But it wouldn't surprise me if he gets a pick, right? And I know Zach Johnson likes him a lot. And there's no reason not to. So look for him maybe to be on that radar of that Ryder Cup if he can't jump in those automatic spots.
Very good. We're going to take one last quick break for the show here. Come back with my picks for your entertainment purposes only, as well as Johnny's picks to help you make a little bit of money, maybe preview a little bit of matchups we may have over the weekend here. Who he may I might ask him a question here. Other than his picks, who might he expect to play well here, and who he expects to maybe not make the weekend, and who he expects to make the weekend? We'll talk about it next right here on FanStream Sports.
Hello, sports fans. FanStream Sports.
Hi, golfers. IndyCar Tim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
All right, guys, time to talk a little bit about Turf Life. You've seen the hats on our heads. You've been or seen the video of the studio. You've seen that the decals are all over the place. Turf Life. Man, it's the brand that salutes the consumer and industry players everywhere whose lives involve turf. What does that mean? It means if you play or have a business, or, maybe you're a sports educator, you're going to be on turf at some point. So you live the turf life. So go ahead and tell everybody you live the turf life by having your Turf Life window decal, or, the hat or the keychain or the something. Along that lines, just go to turflifeclub.com and become a turf head. That's what it's called when you live the turf life. You're now a turf head. And you can go join the club today, snag that window decal, or snag any other special Turf Life accessories, and go over there to that website, which is turflifeclub.com, and get your stuff and show everybody that, man, I'm all about that turf life. And then you just kind of raise your coffee mug at them and go, yeah, turf life, baby. That's what it's about. And then that's the end of the commercial. Ding. That means it's done in microwave talk.
Hello, golf friends. It's IndyCar Tim from the Rough. I want to take just a minute here and tell you about our new friends over at Orca Golf. They make high-quality PGA Tour grade golf bags, and they're the best in the business. They're the real deal. They're the best bags I've ever seen. They even designed a bag for the Golden Bear himself, Jack Nicklaus. Head over to orca-golf.com and pick up a great bag from their catalog, or let them customize one just for you. You can use your own custom colors, your own logo, you name it. You work with actual designers, and nothing goes out without the approval of founder Erica Bennett. She's just brilliant. Visit orca-golf.com. That's orca-golf.com, and use our promo code DSP10 for 10% off and free shipping. Do it today. Orca Golf, best choice in game.
Guys, let me tell you about Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Are you experiencing low sex drive, fatigue, hot flashes, moodiness, and you just don't feel like you have the vitality you once had? You're not just getting old, it's likely low testosterone. Studies over the last 20 years show a shocking decline in younger males aged 16 to 39. Older men have seen a sharp decline as well. Do something about it. Go see my friend Christopher Lugo at Bay Area Modern Medicine. Testosterone replacement is not a frivolous treatment. It takes a professional, targeted approach that focuses on total body wellness, vitality, and emotional stability. Not a one-size-fits-all approach like many clinics use. They will monitor your blood work and adjust your treatment as needed for optimal results. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com.
Hey, listeners, make sure you check out the brand new FanStream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7 day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show.
Coming back at you. Now, more FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to From the Rough as we wrap things up here on a Wednesday, previewing the upcoming Travelers Championship, offering you our betting preview, best bets, all that good stuff that you look forward to every Wednesday on our show.
Make some more money. We've been profitable the last few weeks. Obviously, 2 weeks ago has been great with Canada, but we got on the good side of it last week. I mean, it wasn't much, but we did go 5-1 on matchups. We talked about that on Monday. 5-1 on matchups, which is unprecedented. 63, 18, and 5 on the year, which is, if anyone's better than that around the country, anybody that watches, if you know somebody, please have them call me and I'll call them a liar.
Yeah, because they're cheating.
Yeah, and then
Time travelers.
plus 7,125 units for the year. Plus, on
Not
the
a bad
positive.
year.
It's not nearly as good as the last couple years, but listen,
It's still positive.
a lot of opportunities left. And this is what we say all the time. It's like, listen, you got to follow the system, man. Because we were kind of playing, we're just around even. We're around even. And then we have the hit with the ham sandwich with Nick Taylor. Play the system. I don't care if it's $1. I don't care if it's $10. Whatever it is, whatever you feel comfortable with, you have to play every week, because this is what happens. We're going to have some of those ups and downs, but over the past 4 years, when we've started really doing this, putting our numbers in our system, we've been profitable every single year. Fact. These are facts. I can show every betting slip that I do. Facts. So follow the system. Like we always say, if you're not following, you're not winning. And
You're not following, you're not winning.
You mess that up. You post some bullshit like you. How do you mess that? How do you mess our tagline up?
Oh, it's kind of gay.
No, it's not.
I don't like it. When it came up, what did I say? What was mine? Mine was probably better.
If you're not following, you're not playing.
Well, that's also true.
Some bullshit like that. I don't know.
That might be 2 spins of the wheel there. You can drop 2 S-bombs.
What?
Colby marked that. Johnny's cussing. He owes us a couple of wheel spins.
I can say the S word.
Cannot.
Says who?
The FCC.
Well, they're not knocking on our door
We're
yet.
never going to be on TV the rate we're going.
Well, if you keep talking the way you talk, certainly not.
Hey, don't talk to me like I work for you.
Yeah, that's true. That's the bastard. His birthday was yesterday.
Was it?
Mars' birthday, yeah.
That's greatness.
I tried
Happy
to-
birthday, Mars.
I tried to call him like 4 times, and he was already drunk on the patio.
Should have had him on the show.
Yeah, we should have.
Let's get into our picks and best bets here, as I will go first because, again, nobody cares about mine.
True.
Johnny, we do have one of the dreaded crossovers.
Well, let's mark that off then.
So we might want to shy away from Russell Henley.
Well, we don't have him in the same spot.
No,
right?
he's not.
So we're okay. We're okay there.
So I've got as my winner. I always, for those of you that don't know or forget or that were drunk last time we did this, I pick a winner, a top 10 and a top 20. They're just for entertainment purposes. I don't usually make my bets on my picks.
And when he does win one time a year, he never lets me live it
Nope.
down. Never lets me live it down.
Brooksy, baby.
Yeah.
So my winner this week, Johnny, and we talked about it before the show. I had a couple of options here. John Rahm was one of my options, but again, not a real big value for him here with the low odds. Who was and Rory was the other one I was considering as my winning pick, but again, at 11-1, just not a lot of options. I like to throw stuff out there that's a little bit more of a long shot. So my winner at 20-1, Victor Hovland.
He better hit it like Jesus.
Good day, mate.
He better hit it like Jesus.
Well, he can
Yeah,
when he wants to.
Yeah, I mean,
My top 20 this week, Russell Henley at plus 330, man. This guy, I don't know what the deal is. He doesn't get any respect these days.
he hit 90% of the fairways last week at the U.S.
I
Open.
know it.
90%. That's like unheard of.
He finished inside the top 15 at the U.S. Open, and that kind of continued. He's on the stretch that he's just not being appreciated. Over the last 3 months, he ranked 6th in driving accuracy,
Yeah.
7th in total strokes gained, and 4th in strokes gained approach. He's notched top 20 finishes in 7 of his last 8 tournaments.
And he's not scared to go low. I mean,
No.
he's not one of those guys, man, that, gets uncomfortable. I mean, he can go low, and that may be your best pick of the year.
I like Russell Henley here,
Yeah.
man. His iron play is just amazing right now.
My
Always
only
has
thing
been.
my only thing with him is he plays so well on in Bermuda,
Yeah.
right? And it's not the greatest. He's not the greatest in bent conditions and bluegrass, but the way the guy's ball striking is, I mean, at this point, he could play on a parking lot. It doesn't really make much difference.
This is his 6th trip to this course. In 5 previous trips, he's got 3 top 20s, including a T6 back in 2018. So I like Russell's, especially for a top 10. I mean, that's almost a no-brainer for him at plus 330.
Don't jinx him now.
Andrew Putnam, Johnny, my top 20.
Great pick.
Man, he just sort of hovers on the leaderboard these days. He's 13th in driving accuracy right now, 21st in strokes gained approach, 24th in strokes gained putting over the last 3 months. He's collected a pair of top 10 finishes in designated events already with a T9 at the WGC Match Play and a top 5 finish at the Memorial up where you are. The yardage buckets, where competitors are going to be hitting their approach shots, I think play to his game from what I've seen where they're talking about putting them. So I don't think I've had Andrew putting them on my card before, but I like this pick for me.
Yeah, it's a golf course. I don't have him on my card, but it's a really good pick for you. It's just because, he's not an overpowering type of player, right? And he's,
Right.
He won in Reno. So that was one of those tournaments. It was an alternate field tournament, but this golf course sets up a little bit like that. It's very hilly.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to overpower it, accuracy, and just strong putting is going to be key this week. And you're going to have to shoot some pretty solid numbers, but it kind of fits this guy to a T. I mean, the guy's dead solid, accurate. He doesn't really seem to get rattled. I mean, it'd be nothing for him to shoot, 400 or 500 a day and just kind of law his way through it because he's not going to make a lot of mistakes.
Yep. Johnny's picks this week brought to you by Turf Life. Turf Life is the brand that salutes the consumer and the industry players everywhere whose lives involve turf. They address the games we play and the jobs we do. Turf Life showcases sports, business, education, and the enjoyment of the outdoors. Head over to turflife.club. Become a turf head. Join the club today. Snag you some swag over there, window decal or anything else over at turflife.club. Turflife.club. Thank you, Turf Life. I'll see you over at their website, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny, who's on your card this week?
Yeah, this is a really cool. We've had some success in this tournament before, picking some winners, and like we said, coming off just a little profit last week, getting our total to 71.25 units for the year, 63, 18, and 5. And our matchups 5-1 last week. So we're looking forward to continue to get on a nice little run this week. So our first pick on the board, I really like Tommy Fleetwood at 22-1. It's going to play real similar, this golf course, like we talked about, to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar type of place. So you look at some of the guys that play well there. Some of these guys you're going to look to see on our card that's going to be here, that's going to play well up there at TPC. So Tommy Fleetwood, 22-1. I mean, the guy's due to win, right? I mean, he's putting himself in such great spots. He played okay last week. He didn't play great. He had a good, one good round, but hey, kind of like I said, Canada, he feels good up there. So look for him 22-1. I really like him. And again, just like we talked about at 33-1, Russell Henley. Again, the guy's 90% of the fairways in the U.S. Open. You heard Tim's stats with his driving accuracy, his driving distance. The guy's not short, and the guy can flat out make some birdies, man, as well as he putts. My only little concern is, him putting the bent is not nearly as good as how he putts Bermuda, but he really did play solid last week at the U.S. Open, putting those bent greens. So maybe a little bit, and he didn't play bad in Canada. I don't think. I think he played okay in Canada. That kind of got him running a little bit. So we had it on the board at 30-1, but it changed to 33-1. So if you got 33-1, good for you. I got it at 30-1, so we'll stick with 30-1. If you got three more dollars on that, then good for you. So Russell Henley, second pick on the board. Third pick on the board, Hideki Matsuyama at 35-1. This golf course fits him well. He had it, up and down last week at the U.S. Open, played solid, such a great ball striker, and he hits the ball high, which is going to be, pretty good key there. Ball striking, he's kind of coming into form. If he can kind of stay healthy, he had some injuries early in the year. It's a hard golf course to walk. So, like I said, Hideki, the way he flights the golf ball, I really like him. He doesn't have to hit driver on every hole. He hits it long enough and he hits it high enough. So that's a kind of a big advantage for Hideki. Ham sandwich pick this week, guys. Sahith Theegala at 55-1. What great value I thought with Theegala. 55-1 and finished tied for second there last year. And he double bogeyed the last hole to lose out a playoff to Xander Cantley. So I really like him. He's going to feel comfortable. He's coming off to some pretty solid form. There's nothing. We always talk about it, horses for courses, man. And this is a guy that feels comfortable in this place. So look for him to have that chance to win. The guy's going to win at some point. And why not go back to a place that you've had your best finish on the PGA Tour? So I like him at 55-1. Two top 10 picks this week, as always. Sung J M plus 450. Again, ball striking machine. This guy just loves to play golf. He hits the ball high. He hits the ball straight. Hits the ball far. There's not a golf course that this guy does not like. So he had a good performance up in Canada. Look for him to continue to have some pretty good form here. I didn't like him to win. I just need to see a little bit more out of him. But at plus 450 at top 10, Sung J M, I like him. Our second top 10 picks this week, Harris English at plus 650. I know he had an awful performance his last round at the U.S. Open. Let's be honest. He played like you did, Tim. It's awful.
That's pretty bad.
It's really bad. Really bad. But he's been playing well, man. He's really come into some pretty good form, and I like him. And a golf course that he feels comfortable. He had some success. He's another one of those Georgia guys, man, like Russell Henley. He's one of the better ball strikers, and I expect a lot more out of Harris English. I know he's battled some injuries last year, and maybe he's coming into some form. But a place like this, where ball striking is going to be a premium, I really like Harris English, and at great value to finish in the top 10 at plus 650. 2 top 20 picks this week. Denny McCarthy at plus 275. I expected more out of him last week. I think the quirkiness of the golf course kind of got him, but if you looked at he's still the best putter in the world. He is the best putter in the world. And when the tour players tell you he's the best putter in the world, I'm going to go by what they say. Mm-hmm. The golf course is just a little quirky for him last week, but you get something. He's had some success there before. He's from that kind of area. I know the Maryland, New York area, it's a little bit similar. So getting back into some really bluegrass fairways, bluegrass rough, bent greens, I think it's going to be a big benefit for Denny McCarthy. So plus 275, I like him to finish in that top 20. And our last pick this week to finish in the top 20, Gary Woodland at plus 335. He's been playing well. I really like the way he's kind of been playing. He's kind of getting into some form. He hasn't really contended, but he's had like two and a half really good rounds per tournament, like the last 4 tournaments. And if he can put all these rounds together, I really like him on this golf course. That he's got the power. He doesn't have to hit driver on every hole, so he has the power and was had some success here before. Plus 330, I thought that was great value to finish in the top 20. I actually liked him in our ham sandwich pick. I just needed to see more. Yeah, I thought there was a more opportunity to make money with him to finish in the top 20 as opposed to put him in a long shot ham sandwich pick. So Gary Woodland at plus 335 is your last pick for the week. And again, always, we're going to have our matchups again, like we're having some great success. Like we said before, 63, 18, and 5 in our matchups. And we're looking forward to continue to have a profitable week.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, Johnny, lots of potential here for you on the card. All these guys, we look to have good weeks. One quick thing before we wrap things up here on the show, our sort of show golfer that we've decided to take under our wing, Ludwig Aberg.
Yes.
After not playing in the U.S. Open, we'll be teeing it up in Connecticut. He tees off at 1:00 Central Time tomorrow with odds to win, Johnny.
110? Was it around 110?
Plus 12,500.
So he's plus 120.
Plus 125.
Listen, I know we didn't have him on our card, guys. If you're out, all you people out there listening, put something on him. And the guy's going to win soon. And we talked about this a couple shows. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, it wouldn't surprise me if he makes that Ryder Cup team. I'm telling you right now, listen, this guy has impressed every single person that he's played golf with, including Luke Donald, the Ryder Cup captain. This guy is a superstar. The way he looks, the way he carries himself, the way he hits a golf ball. This guy is a superstar in the making. At 125 to 1, like I said, I just didn't have him on our card. I just, for whatever reason, I just like the value of Thigala there before, just because of his past success. I just did.
Well, and we don't have a lot of tape on Aberg yet, but the more tournaments he plays, the more you'll get acclimated to kind of what his strengths and weaknesses are. And
I want to watch him this week against this elevated field event. And in the next couple weeks, they're going to be softer field events. So we have Rocket Mortgage, and I believe we have John Deere, or Kentucky, one of the two. I haven't jumped into that yet, but look for him to maybe win one of those events, one of those smaller tier events. There's still PGA Tour events. It's still awesome.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But you're not going to have that bigger field. And he's going to get in these like slower, smaller field, unsuperstar studded fields. Look for the guy to win in the next. So don't be surprised if he's going to be on our card in the next couple of weeks. I want to see more of him. That's why we didn't have him on our card this week.
Yep, and we'll update his performance on Monday as well. We'll talk about him in the Travelers Recap, 5:00 Central Time on fanstreamsports.com, both audio and video over there, as well as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch,
New app.
and the new FanStream Sports app available for Android, iOS coming soon. Keep your ears listening for more information on the iOS portion of it coming up soon. So yeah, we'll be back on Monday to recap everything for you. Good luck to all the boys. You guys enjoy watching some golf this weekend. Johnny and I will be by the channel taking care of everything for you. He'll be back Saturday with his matchup Saturday morning. Look for those and place your bets. Same thing Sunday. And we'll talk to you on Monday. Until then, boys and girls, y'all keep hitting them straight.